Hi, so today I'm going to be doing 10-minute figure drawings. Hi, my name is Escobar. I'm a storyboard artist on the Simpsons television show. I've been working on the show for over 25 years now, and I'm here to empower you. So ideally, you kind of want to start off with 2s or 5-minute figure drawings. If you want to even do a little bit more, even shorter, like 30-second gesture drawings, that's awesome. 10-minute figure drawings is probably the longest you kind of want to do. The reason why is because 10 minutes is just enough to kind of have almost a finished piece, a little bit longer. It's a long time. 20 minutes would be like if you really want to do almost a finished piece, in 20 minutes you could do a lot. 10 minutes you can get it to like a finish. I don't even know because I haven't recorded any of the actual drawing part how much I will get done, so we'll see. But 10 minutes is actually quite a long time, especially after you've been doing 2 minutes and 5 minutes. So this is the first video that I'm doing 10-minute drawings. I'm only going to be doing 2 of them because obviously 10 minutes will be a long time, so it'll be a long video if I only do 2. If I do any more, it's even longer. So let's get to it. All right, so let's get to this. Because this is a 10-minute drawing, I can potentially draw a little bit bigger than I usually do, but I will choose to draw smaller just because that's what I'm used to doing. So I will start the timer. I begin this with exactly the same approach that I would any the 2 minutes, which is just kind of laying in the gesture, trying to push the pose as much as possible. No details, just kind of laying in the where I'm gonna put everything and capturing the energy of the pose as best as I can. Maybe it is bent this way. Arms and legs I keep as simple as possible. And that's it. I think that's what I need to do here. Kind of keep this a little bit more balanced. This needs to be right under his head in order for him to actually stay up, even though he's supposed to be kind of slipping. If you look at the photograph, he wouldn't be able to hold this pose if it was completely off. Okay. Now I could do a lot of things. I could come in here and start solidifying, or I could start adding values, which is what I sometimes do. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to refine some of this, and what I'm doing is I'm looking at the silhouette, and I'm kind of refining that. And here we have this. I think the proportions are off. The rib cage, that should really be much bigger. Everything, I think the proportions are off. He's a much bigger person. So I've got this happening here. This happening here. This is the chest. So a lot of refining here. I am not doing any values stuff. Not because I don't want to. It's just because I've chosen to do this a little bit different. Maybe in the next one I'll do more value. But what I'm doing here is I'm connecting all of these things rhythmically, all these muscles. Doing kind of exterior stuff. Observing what I see, but also drawing what I know at the same time. So I know these muscles are here and what they look like. solidifying this. So this is much more linear than I actually intended it to be. That's fine. This is one approach. I still have plenty of time. I got 6 minutes left. So a lot of what I'm doing here is I'm refining the anatomy, and that comes from studying Bridgman and Hampton, understanding some Houston construction stuff. And I will do a kind of like an envelope shape, a graphic representation of the hand. It's not. It's just kind of like the silhouette of the hand shape. And a little bit more of a solid idea of what the face is. So there, now we've basically got that. Now I could come in and kind of do some, I still got 5 minutes. Now I could come in and start kind of adding a little bit of value here. So and this is all, what I'm doing is I'm looking at excuse me, I'm looking at the planes of the face and the planes of the body, and I'm defining those planes as simply as possible. Do not put, I'm not putting in any really defined details. I am mostly using firm edges. And keeping all of this simple and clear. This is going to help really define all of this more clearly. Seeing all of these things as boxy shapes. Kind of defining some of the edges, edges being the, if it's a hard edge, if it's a firm edge. But the idea here is that everything here is clearly defined. Just do the, okay, so this is more, this is kind of boxy. So I'm thinking about this stuff as if they were boxes. If this was a box, this would be the side plane, this would be, this, here is where this edge meets this edge, and then there's another box here. So everything here is a box. Now we've got the hair, and it frames the face. We have the brow here, so let me define this brow, and the nose. And the mouth, and then this area is now in shadow. And this eye is very simply stated eye shape here. Still very simple. Okay. All of this is in shadow. All of this is in shadow. And now I could come in with a more refined line. And really solidify all this stuff. So I'm keeping everything simple. Now you can get much more organic, a little much more lumpy, bumpy. This is a a kind of stylization of these forms. I've seen friends of mine go very organic looking, and it looks really good the way that they do it. I've often seen people go very organic looking and it looks terrible because they overdo it. And that's it. That's 10 minutes. This is my 10-minute drawing. So it depends on how much control you have, how much understanding and knowledge you have. I can't stop. I'm just kind of wanting to finish up this. Got some lost edges there. So that's my 10. It kind of got big on me, and that's fine. I don't know. Maybe so. I'm taking a look at it. What could I have done better? What should I do better next time? I think perhaps I will go and do the values next first before I do any of the final line. I think that perhaps doing the kind of like the contour, like a rough pass contour line, the first pass was maybe not the best approach so I'm going to try a different approach next time. But so this is what I've got so far. All right, let's go to the next. Let's start another layer. Let's get rid of this. Let's move on to the next pose, and then we will try this one. Okay, so this drawing just is screaming for like a caricature. Let me switch back to my drawing pencil, and I really want to push this and make her really like a caricature of this lady. She's so thin. We'll see what happens when I do this one. All right, so 10 minutes starting now. Here we go. So this lady, oh man, I'm already drawing way too big. I'm already drawing way too big. I gotta pull myself back. This is just way too big. So I love this lady's really kind of lanky body. She's just making this shape here. It's like I want to give her like gigantic long legs. because it's just, she's so like almost like a caricature of one of those fashion like mannequin type drawings that fashion people do when they design clothes. So the hips are turning this way. Her legs are just, let's see, can't even see. See, look how huge I got already. Okay, so now, unlike the last pose, I'm going straight to value. And I'm going to work out the big masses just on value first. Almost like it's a kind of a painterly approach, because I could refine all the rest with line later. But this kind of immediately starts kind of placing the where I'm going to put stuff. And that's one of the things that, the reasons why I'm doing it this way, is that I could come in later and refine all of this stuff. And there's a bit of light right there. And then this is all black, so I'm not even going to bother. This turns to black here. Oh, her hand, there's a hand there. Didn't notice it. And this here, and then the glutes. The shadow on the glutes. And there's a shadow right here, so there's a gap of light in there. Okay, then this is kind of, so I'm thinking about all of these in the same way that I was thinking about the shadows in the last piece, which is in boxy terms. There's a knee right there. So I'm still thinking about all of this stuff in boxy terms. And then this is all in shadow. Okay, so then I could just really quickly just kind of put in the darks. This is almost all dark. So all I did was kind of lay in where I'm going to leave it white and where I'm going to keep it dark. So it's already kind of there already. Like I just broke all of this up. And so all I've got to do now is come in and fill in the blanks. And I can do that with lines. So let me take my line pencil here and just start refining some of this kind of, here's this neck here. I've got this here if I want to put that in there. Make some of these hard edges. And now I can solidify some of this much more. Whoa, I forgot this completely. This is all black. Just define these much more. This goes in here. It's more of a cast shadow. This actually should be more like this. This pops out this way. And then the hand. Hit down here. There's a gap here that I didn't see. I'm going to simplify this lingerie so it doesn't get too crazy on me. Oh, come on. There we go. So there's the muscle here, and then there's something here. I don't know exactly what that is. This. Actually, I'm off. This needs to go like that. And this pinches here. And this does this here like that, and I need to color that in. These legs, the way that they bow out this way, it's very, very odd. And they blow out this way. And then this is happening here, this muscle situation. The calves. And they should be off center here. That's it. That's what I got. So if you notice that when I started doing the final line, one of the things that I was doing was adding hard, the line what it did was it started adding hard edges to some of the, it started adding definition to some of the rough shape of the values that I put down. But what it also did was where I specifically went out of my way, I did add hard edges to some of the shadow areas right here to make sure that, like right here, so that oh, and this is, I missed this area here, so that there was a difference in the edges, and that variation, that variety of line, what it does is it adds interest. So we have a lot of soft edges or a lot of firm edges, but when you add a little bit of a hard edge here and there, it just kind of makes those firm edges pop more, and it's also a natural place where shadow and shape come to a stop. And like I said, it adds interest and makes it more natural. But that's kind of, so it kind of came to life a little bit more once I started putting in the hard edged lines. So I did it I did this in two different ways. The first time I did kind of like a more constructed drawing, and then I put value on top of that. And this time around I went straight to graphic and value first, and then I went in and refined everything with the line. And I pushed the drawing very, very extreme. Like I really, there's something about this lady's body shapes that made me just want to push it and make it really cartoony and over the top. So I did. I deliberately went out of my way to just go a little bit crazy with the proportions and exaggerate them so it wasn't exactly a one-to-one. I didn't mean for it to be a one-to-one. I kind of used the model and as a bouncing off point to do something a little bit crazier with it. So that's 10-minute drawings, and notice that this drawing got huge. Like I didn't intend it to be this big, and it just grew. So I'm really glad that I kind of started where I did. But 10 minutes gives you a lot more time to refine. And I guess if I did have another 10 minutes, all of these shadow shapes and things like that, I would start cleaning up the shapes a little bit more and refining some of this. But everything is generally where it needs to be. So it's just a matter of refining stuff. I'd probably go back and refix the face. I did it really, really fast, and I think that now looking at the drawing, I would probably have done this with the face. So this is something that I think that the face needed to be we're looking up at this lady's head. And I failed to see it. So I would next time have to pay more attention to the tilting of the face. That way it's not so flat. This needs to be bigger. See how this is just kind of straight on? It really needed to slant this way. All of this needs to work with this idea that it's coming down this way. Like this is, we're looking up at this head. And it should not be straight. It should definitely be more slanted this way, going in this direction. So that's something that I should be paying a little bit more attention to, especially in the face when doing something like this. But again, it's a good learning moment. Hopefully in the next session we don't mess up like this and we pay a little bit more attention. But this is the kind of thing that you want to pay attention to after you do a 10-minute drawing. Just check yourself. What did I do? How could I have done better? How do I approach this better? All right, so this drawing here is what we did today, and we also did this drawing here, and they're kind of in each other's ways. So there we go. There's always room for improvement. There's always room to try to do better next time. So yeah, so that's it for today. Hopefully this has been helpful. This is only video 1, so I'm gonna do another set of 10 minutes, 2 more 10-minute drawings, and hopefully we'll get better. We'll improve. We'll see what we can do to make the next ones better, and push the poses and look for ways that we can create more depth. Like here, I think that I probably could have made this a little bit more so that it wraps more around the torso, so it's even more of an idea that we're looking up at the torso. I think it's kind of flat here, so it's stuff like that. You just look at it and you go, okay, how can I improve? How can I do better? What's missing? What's not missing? And that's how you use these. Okay, so thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you next time. All right, bye.